Yo, what is good? It's so good to see you. How long's it been? Few hours? Yeah. No, we only talk on Discord right now, but it's good to actually be in person. So, check it out. I came across this list the other day. It said 50 interesting facts about Star Wars, and then it threw in one false fact. And it was just this article that was giving these facts, and it was kind of mind-blowing. And I know you're a Star Wars person, right? Yeah, I thought so. So I thought you might appreciate this. And I downloaded the article onto my iPad here, and I was just wondering, would you want to go through this? Because there's some interesting ones in here. Yeah? Okay, so huge. There is one false fact in here, and I'm not going to tell you what it is. I'm just going to say the facts as they are, and at the end, I will tell you the fact that was incorrect or false. Alright, sound good? Yeah, no. Zero pressure at all on you. You don't have to perform, just be you. If anything, just, learn 49 true things, one false thing, and then get that false thing corrected in your mind, Yeah, perfect. Okay, you ready? So, fact number one. The claim is the opening crawl was originally much longer and more complex before being simplified. And I've got expanded details here for you for each fact. Early drafts of the opening crawl contain dense political exposition explaining the Galactic Senate and Imperial bureaucracy in detail. George Lucas later realized that this slowed down the pacing and could confuse audiences unfamiliar with the world. He rewrote the crawl to focus on a simple rebellion versus empire conflict. This decision helped establish the film's accessible tone and is now considered a key storytelling choice. Yeah, so that's how we're gonna rock and roll with these. Let me know if you think you find it, and I'll periodically ask if you've heard it. Did you hear it already, or do you think it's in the future? Okay. Fact number 2. The Force was originally referred to as the force of others in early drafts. In early script versions, the mystical energy field, later known simply as the Force, had a more abstract and less refined name, the force of others. This terminology reflected Lucas's initial attempt to frame the concept in a broader philosophical context. Over time, the name was shortened to the Force to make it more memorable and easier to integrate into dialogue. The streamlined term contributed significantly to its iconic status in popular culture. Fact 3. Luke Skywalker was originally named Luke Starkiller. The protagonist was originally named Luke Starkiller, a much harsher and more aggressive name than the final version. As production progressed, Lucas felt the name sounded too violent and potentially off-putting for a heroic lead. The change to Skywalker gave the character a more hopeful and mythical tone. This adjustment also aligned better with the film's fairy tale inspiration. Fact 4. The film's $11 million budget was considered modest for its ambitions. With a budget of around $11 million, the film was relatively low cost compared to other science fiction production attempting similar visual scope. Studio executives were skeptical about the project's financial potential and kept funding limited. This constraint forced the production team to innovate with practical effects and resourceful design solutions. Ironically, these limitations contributed to the film's distinct visual style. Fact number 5. Stormtrooper helmets were handmade and often asymmetrical. The Stormtrooper helmets were crafted by hand rather than mass-produced, resulting in subtle variations between each helmet. These asymmetries were not intentional design features, but a consequence of a rushed production schedule and limited resources. Over time, fans came to appreciate these imperfections as part of the film's practical charm. Modern reproductions often replicate these quirks to maintain authenticity. Nobody tells you how heavy an iPad is until you hold it, telling your friend 50 facts. Tatooine scenes were filmed in Tanzania. The desert world of, this is fact 6, the desert world of Tatooine was filmed in Tunisia due to its expansive, barren landscapes and matched the script's vision. The harsh climate created significant challenges for the cast and crew, including equipment malfunctions and extreme heat. Despite these difficulties, the location provided a realistic texture that would have been difficult to replicate on sound stages. The setting became one of the most recognizable environments in the franchise. Fact 7. The name Tatooine comes from the Tunisia city of Tatooine. The name Tatooine was inspired by Tatooine, a real city in southern Tunisia near where filming took place. Lucas often drew from real-world names and cultural elements to ground his fictional universe. The slight alteration of the spelling helped the name feel both authentic and otherworldly. This blending of real and fictional elements became a recurring technique in the franchise. Fact 8. Darth Vader's breathing was created using scuba gear or a scuba regulator. Sound design Ben Burt created Darth Vader's iconic breathing by recording himself breathing through a scuba regulator. He experimented with various audio manipulations to give it a mechanical and ominous tone. The result became one of the most recognizable sound effects in film history. It also helped define Vader's presence before he even spoke. Fact 9. The lightsaber hum was created from a projector and TV interference. The lightsaber sound originated when Burt combined the hum of an old film projector motor with interference picked up from a television set. By moving a microphone around the TV, he captured fluctuating tones that added a dynamic quality. This layered sound gave the weapon a sense of energy and movement. The technique became foundational for all future lightsaber audio design. Fact 10. The Star Destroyer opening shot used motion control photography. The famous opening shot where a Star Destroyer appears to stretch endlessly overhead was achieved by using detailed miniature models and motion control cameras. This technology allowed precise, repeatable camera movement that enhanced realism. The shot's scale helped immediately immerse audiences in the film's universe. It is still widely regarded as one of the most effective opening shots in cinema. So, that's the first 10 facts. Do you think you've heard it yet? Okay. No, no. My reaction doesn't mean anything. Fact number 11. Industrial light and magic was created for the film. Because existing studios could not achieve the desired visual effects, Lucas founded Industrial Light and Magic. The company was tasked with developing entirely new techniques for space battles and model photography. ILM's innovation not only made the film possible, but also revolutionized the visual effects industry. The studio continues to be a major force in filmmaking today. Fact 12. Harrison Ford was not initially auditioning for Han Solo. Harrison Ford was working as a carpenter, and he was asked to read lines with auditioning actors rather than audition himself. His natural delivery impressed Lucas and the casting team. Eventually, he was formally tested for the role and cast as Han Solo. This unconventional path to casting became one of Hollywood's most famous stories. Fact 13. Han Solo was originally written as an alien. In early scripts, Han Solo was depicted as a green-skinned alien with gills. This version emphasized the film's more experimental and science fiction heavy origins. As the story evolved, Lucas chose to make the character human to create a more relatable dynamic among the main cast. The change also helped balance the film's mix of fantastical and grounded elements. Fact 14. I bet you didn't know C-3PO was inspired by the robot Maria from Metropolis. The design of C-3PO was directly influenced by the robot Maria from the 1927 film Metropolis. Lucas admired the film's visual style and sought to incorporate similar elements. The humanoid shape and metallic finish reflect this inspiration. This connection highlights the film's roots in classic science fiction cinema. Fact 15. Did you know that R2-D2's name comes from a sound editing team? The R2-D2 originated from the abbreviation Real 2 Dialogue 2. Used during editing, Lucas reportedly heard the term and found it memorable. He later adapted it into the character's name. This accidental inspiration became one of the most recognizable names in film history. Fact number 16. R2-D2 frequently malfunctioned during filming. The mechanical version of R2-D2 often broke down and became stuck, especially on the uneven terrain in Tunisia. Actor Kenny Baker sometimes had difficulty controlling movement from inside the unit. These issues caused delays and required frequent repairs. Despite this, the character's final on-screen performance appears smooth and expressive. Fact 17. Early cuts of the film were poorly received. Initial edits of the film were considered confusing and lacked narrative clarity. Test audience and even some crew members struggled to follow the story. Lucas and his editors, including Marcia Lucas, made significant changes to pacing and structure. These revisions were crucial in shaping the final successful version. Fact 18. Marcia Lucas played a key role in editing. Marcia Lucas contributed significantly to the emotional pacing of the film, particularly in the final act. She helped restructure sequences to build tension during the Death Star attack. Her editing precision improved the film's narrative flow. She later won an Academy Award for her work. Fact 19. The trench run was inspired by World War II films. Lucas drew inspiration from World War II aerial combat films, especially their editing style and cockpit perspectives. He studied footage of real dogfights to replicate their intensity. The influence is evident in the fast cuts and radio chatter. The result gave the battle a grounded, realistic feel. World War II gun camera footage influenced the battle scenes. The ILM artist used real World War II gun camera footage as reference when designing space combat. This helped guide the movement and framing of spacecrafts. The approach added authenticity to otherwise fantastical visuals. It also distinguished the film from earlier, slower-paced sci-fi battles. We're at fact number 20 here. Do you think we've come across it yet, or do you think it has yet to show its face, the false one? Oh, could be. Chief, it is crazy how heavy a 2-pound thing becomes when you consistently hold it. Yo, shout out parents, man. Shout out parents. Fact number 21. John Williams recorded with the London Symphony Orchestra. In the expanded details is John Williams chose the London Symphony Orchestra for its rich classical sound. The score was recorded in London's Abbey Road studios. Williams used a full orchestral approach rather than electronic music, which was common in sci-fi at that time. This decision helped give the film a timeless quality. Fact 22, the claim is subtitle episode 4 was added later. When first released in 1977, the film was simply titled Star Wars. The episode for A New Hope subtitle was added in later re-releases. After the success of the franchise, this change helped establish the larger saga structure. It also retroactively positioned the film within a broader narrative timeline. What's almost interesting is it's kind of like how in World War I was just called the Great War, but now we call it World War I. Fact 23. The film had a limited initial release. The movie debuted in a relatively small number of theaters because studios were uncertain about its appeal. Demand quickly exceeded expectations, leading to a rapid expansion. Long lines and sold-out screenings became common. This unexpected success contributed to the rise of the blockbuster model. Fact 24. Many alien costumes were made from repurposed materials. Due to budget limitations, costume designers used everyday materials to create alien appearances. Items such as helmets, masks, and fabrics were modified to look otherworldly. This resourcefulness contributed to the film's diverse visual style. It also demonstrated the creativity of the production team. Fact 25. The film helped define the modern blockbuster. The film's success changed how studios approached marketing, distribution, and merchandising. It demonstrated the value of wide releases and strong promotional campaigns. The movie also pioneered large-scale tie-in merchandise. These practices became standards in the industry. Fact 26. The opening crawl was physically filmed using practical methods rather than being digitally created. The iconic opening crawl was created by filming physical text laid out on a large board. The camera moved slowly over the text while it was tilted away to create the illusion of depth. The practical technique required lighting and perspective control. The result became one of the most recognizable visual signatures in cinema history. Fact 27. The Millennium Falcon's final shape was partly inspired by a hamburger with an olive. After the original Falcon design was scrapped for resembling another sci-fi ship, Lucas approved a new concept with a flat, circular body and an offset cockpit. He later described the shape as resembling a hamburger with an olive stuck on the side, with the olive representing the cockpit pod. This asymmetrical design helped the ship stand out visually and made it instantly recognizable. The unconventional silhouette became one of the most iconic spacecraft designs in film history. Fact 28. The original cut of the cantina scene was much longer and included alien interactions. The Mos Eisley Cantina sequence originally featured extended interactions between patrons and additional alien performance. These scenes were trimmed to maintain pacing and narrative focus. Some footage was later restored or referenced in special editions. The editing helped the introduction of Han Solo concise and impactful. There's 50 facts is a lot. Fact 29. Many alien masks in the cantina were reused from other productions. Due to budget constraints, the production team sourced masks and costume elements from existing prop houses. Some were modified slightly to fit the Star Wars aesthetic. This approach allowed the filmmaker to populate the cantina with a wide variety of creatures quickly. The improvisation contributed to the scene's chaotic and diverse atmosphere. Fact 30. The actors playing stormtroopers often had limited visibility, leading to on-set accidents. The stormtrooper helmets significantly restricted vision, making it difficult for actors to move safely. This led to frequent collisions with set pieces and other performers. One notable example is a stormtrooper hitting his head on a doorway, which remained in the final cut. These limitations inadvertently added to the realism of the scene. Alright, gang. Do you think I have said the false fact yet? Oh, okay. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. I mean, how many have you thought that about, though? Interesting. I mean, I can't lie, like, even reading these a second time, it's so interesting. Are you as interested in this as I am? Because I am floored by some of these facts. And they're so specific. Like, I thought it'd be, like, super surface level, but some of these are, like, fairly deep. I don't know. Are you ready to continue? You don't have to lock in an answer, no. It's low pressure, low pressure. Fact 31. The famous blast door sounds were created using manipulated real-world recordings. Sound designer Ben Burt recorded various mechanical noises to create the sound of doors opening and closing. These sounds were layered and altered to feel futuristic while still grounded in reality. The use of real-world audio helped maintain a tactile quality. This approach became a hallmark of the film's sound design philosophy. Fact 32. The Jawa language was created by manipulating recordings of Zulu speech. Rather than inventing a language from scratch, Burt recorded people speaking Zulu and then electronically sped up and pitch shifted the audio to create distinctive, high-pitched Jawa chatter. The original cadence of the spoken language remains subtly embedded in the final sound, giving it a natural rhythm despite being alien. This technique allowed the Jawas to feel expressive without requiring subtitles. It's a precise example of Burt's philosophy of building alien sound from real human sources. Fact 33. Bro, I am sucking wind. Fact 33. The Tuscan Raiders' vocalizations were created using animal sounds. The distinctive cries of the Tuscan Raiders were created by blending recordings of donkeys with other sounds. Burt manipulated pitch and timing to make the sound more unsettling. This gave the creatures a primal and unpredictable presence. The result became one of the most memorable audio elements of the film. Fact 34. The Death Star Trench was constructed in large modular sections totaling dozens of feet in length, not as a small tabletop model. Rather than being a small miniature, the Death Star Trench was built as a series of large modular sections that, when combined, stretched roughly 40 to 60 feet in total length. These sections were arranged and reconfigured to create different shots, allowing ILM to film long tracking movements along the trench. The scale was necessary to maintain realistic perspective and depth during motion control photography. This large physical build was a major logistical undertaking and occupied a significant portion of the effects workspace. Fact 35. The film reused footage of explosions multiple times to save costs. To stay within budget, ILM reused certain explosion shots throughout the film. These were sometimes flipped or edited to appear different. The repetition is difficult to notice due to fast-paced editing. This resourcefulness allowed the team to maximize limited visual effect resources. Fact 36. Carrie Fisher had to wear a specific hairstyle to fit her headpiece. The iconic side bun hairstyle worn by Princess Leia was partly designed to accommodate her headgear and costumes. Fisher initially had reservations about the look, but accepted it for consistency. The style became one of the most recognizable character designs in film history. It has since been widely referenced and parodied. Fact 37. The droids were intentionally written as comedic relief, inspired by classic film duos. C-3PO and R2-D2 were inspired by comedic pairs like Laurel and Hardy. Their contrasting personalities created natural humor throughout the film. Lucas used them as audience surrogates to introduce the world. This dynamic helped balance the story's more serious elements. Fact 38. The film's wipe transitions were inspired by older serial films. The use of wipe transitions between scenes was influenced by 1930s and 40s adventure serials. Lucas incorporated these transitions to evoke a nostalgic storytelling type. They also helped maintain a fast-paced narrative flow. This stylistic choice became a defining feature of the franchise. Fact 39. The blaster sounds were created by striking tension wires. Blaster sounds were created by hitting steel cables under tension with a metal object. The resulting vibrations produced sharp, energetic tones. Bird recorded these sounds in outdoor environments to capture natural reverb. The technique gave the weapons a distinctive auditory identity. Fact number 40. The film was partially edited while still being filmed. Due to tight deadlines, editing began before the filming was fully completed. This allowed the team to identify pacing issues early. It also helped prioritize reshoots and adjustments. The overlapping workflow was unusual at the time, but proved effective. Alright, we have 40 facts, 10 remaining. You have an 80% chance that it has already passed. How are you feeling? Okay. Yeah, no, I'm not telling you. I said I'll tell you at the end, yeah. So we have 10 more. 10 final. A new episode 4, Star Wars episode 4, The New Hope facts remaining before we get our answer. You ready? Fact 41. Sir Alec Guinness initially had reservations about the script. Guinness was skeptical of the dialogue and story during early production. However, he recognized the film's potential and committed to the role. His performance as Obi-Wan Kenobi added gravitas to the film. He later became one of the strongest advocates for the film. Fact 42. The film's editing style was influenced by Japanese cinema. Lucas drew inspirations from directors like Akira Kurosawa, particularly in pacing and composition. The storytelling structure and character dynamics reflect this influence. Elements of the Hidden Fortress are especially evident. These influences helped shape the film's unique tone. Fact 43. The film's success saved 20th Century Fox financially. Before release, 20th Century was experiencing financial difficulties. The unexpected success of the film generated massive revenue. This helped stabilize the studio's finances. It also shifted industry perceptions of science fiction films. Fact 44. The opening scene was designed to immediately establish scale and conflict. The contrast between the small rebel ship and the massive Star Destroyer was intentional. Lucas wanted audiences to instantly understand the power imbalance. The visual storytelling approach eliminated the need for exposition. It set the tone for the entire film. Fact 45. The film's dialogue was revised during filming. Several actors, including Harrison Ford, found the original dialogue difficult to deliver naturally. Adjustments were made during filming to improve flow. These revisions helped make the characters feel more authentic. The collaborative process strengthened the final film. Fact 44. The lightsaber props were modified camera flashes. The handles of the lightsabers were constructed using modified camera flash units. These provided a metallic and functional appearance. Additional detailing was used or added to enhance their futuristic look. This practical design contributed to their believability. Fact 47. The film used forced perspective to enhance scale. Forced perspectives techniques were used to make sets and models appear larger than they were. By carefully positioning objects relative to the camera, filmmakers created convincing illusions of scale. This was especially useful for interior ship scenes. The technique complemented miniature effects. Fact 48. Final 3. The film's marketing initially struggled to attract attention. Early promotional efforts did not generate strong audience interest. Science fiction was not considered a reliable box office genre at the time. However, word of mouth quickly boosted the film's popularity after release. This organic growth became a key factor in its success. Fact 49. The film's success led to increased investment in special effects technology. Following the film's success, studios began investing heavily in visual effects capabilities. ILM became a model for future effects companies. This shift changed how blockbuster films were produced. It marked the beginning of a new era in film making. Fact 50. The film introduced how franchises were planned and developed. The success of the film demonstrated the viability of long-term storytelling across multiple installments. Studios began planning sequels and shared universes more strategically. The concept of franchising became central to Hollywood's business model. This approach continues to shape the industry today. And that was 50 facts. Thank you for letting me share. I'm kidding. We're going to go over the one fact that was incorrect, the false fact. Yeah. So, which fact did you think, and you can just throw out a number if you're not sure, was false? Fair enough. If you guessed fact number, I'm joking. If you guessed fact number 21, you were right, my friend. Here is the real version of that fact. The claim the film's score was recorded at Anvil Studios in Denham, not Abbey Road, as is sometimes mistakenly reported. The orchestral score for A New Hope was recorded at Anvil Studios, where Williams conducted the London Symphony Orchestra in 1977. Although later Star Wars films are closely associated with Abbey Road Studios, the original film's session took place at Anvil due to availability and logistical considerations at the time. The recording used traditional orchestral techniques rather than experimental electronic scoring, helping establish the film's classic operatic tone. This distinction is often misreported, making it a commonly repeated but correctable detail. So, that is it. Thank you for letting me share those facts with you. I thought you might enjoy them. So, how are you feeling after that? I know it was a lot of facts. Yeah. I don't even know what time it is. Oh my gosh. It's With what? I. We were just doing that for how long? Whoa. Okay. But you had fun, right? Okay, that's the important part. Well, I actually. I'm gonna go grab something to eat. You want anything? Cool, cool. I got you. You wanna come with me or just pick you up something? Yeah, no, that's fine. I can definitely do that. So, alright. Well, I'll see you soon, right? Alright. See you.